continues to transition into that starter role. Jack's another 5 innings last night, and a pretty good performance overall. He gave up just 3 hits.
Thought it was fantastic after that early home run. He's really settled in there.
Yeah, just the 1 earned run on the day on that early home run. 6 strikeouts on the day. Just a good performance for Griffin Jackson. Then Yandy Diaz doing Yandy Diaz things with the bat. That's the great news. Not so great news is Yandy Diaz hit with a pitch in the 8th inning, and we're not sure. There was nothing from Kevin Cash after the game. He basically said, we'll know more tomorrow. What we do know, and it's not great news, is that Yandy was hit on both hands, on fingers on both hands by this pitch. And we see this, I feel like, often enough where a guy stays in the game or they're able to say rather quickly, hey, he's good. And they haven't been able to say that with Yandy Diaz. So that, for me, Aaron, major concern.
Huge concern. He has been the engine. He is red hot right now, one of the hottest hitters in all of baseball for the hottest team in all of baseball. You take Yandy out of the equation, and I don't know what it looks like. And I do expect, and once again, you mentioned we didn't hear from Kevin Cash about it. You know, he said he doesn't know, but we do know it was both fingers. And we've seen guys recently in Major League Baseball, Jose Caballero, former Ray, one of those guys who you hurt a finger, you fracture a finger, you break a finger. We don't know what it is, but let's say one of those digits is broken.
If anybody knows how massive a broken finger can be, it's Aaron Jacobson.
Listen, I'm dealing with it right now, and obviously I'm not a professional athlete, and I'm very brittle, as we've noted, and as we've discovered, or I've recently admitted. And Yandy is anything but. He is a tank.
How long ago was your injury?
It was almost 2 months ago. 7 weeks ago. And
do you think Yandy Diaz could be out as long as you've been out?
I don't know. To me, it's a 4 to 8 week type of deal if you break it, because the truth is, you just, no matter how much of a warrior you are, and believe me, I'm sure Yandy's a warrior, and all these other guys are bigger warriors than me. You can't actually grip a bat. You can't, and even if you can, you can't be effective.
No, and you can't be thinking about it. You can't. It can't be one of those things where you foul a pitch off and it hurts, right? Like you cannot be at the plate, especially if you're Yandy Diaz, and be who you need to be at less than 100% with a broken hand or a broken finger.
He got hit with a 94-mile-per-hour fastball, 2 of his digits. He looked like he was in pain right when it happened. Right when it happened, Rays fans like me are like, oh, no, come on, everything's going great right now. And now we just have to wait and see, and hopefully it's, just a bruise or a jam or whatever. But when you get hit by a 94-mile-per-hour fastball like that and you have the reaction that he had, tells me that it could be something more.
The reaction aside, because I've seen guys have dramatic reactions because it hurts like hell, but then end up staying in the game and being able, them being able to tell us after the game, like, nah, it hurt, he got dinged, whatever it was, but he's fine. And the fact that they can't do that with Yandy Diaz is certainly, I think, a question today.
He's so locked in. He is so locked in, and now we're going to have to find out with a day game, quick turnaround. I fully expect he will not be ready he will not play for at least a couple games no matter what.
Yeah.
And that information is based on absolutely nothing. I just would be shocked. The recovery on that, he'd come back the next day for a day game. No chance in my mind.
Again, the fact that they weren't able to look at him and determine right away that his fingers weren't broken, or at least they didn't want to tell us if that's the case, that is enough to tell you, like you said, I'd be shocked if he was in the lineup today. Chad Mottola, the Rays hitting coach, who, by the way, yesterday I said probably deserves a raise after he's got Taylor Walls up over 220. Chad Mottola said, it kind of nicked both hands. It's one of those that when you hit fingers with 95 miles per hour, it doesn't matter if it's glancing or not. So it's one of these things. Let's just see what the doctors say.
Yeah.
So, and that's what we're going to have to do. But, yeah, very concerning news for the absolute hottest team in baseball. Now 32-15 with the win last night. They'll be looking this afternoon for the sweep, again, against our old friend Shane Baz, who will be on the mound for the Baltimore Orioles. And, again, Shane's off to a very rough start in Baltimore. His ERA is up over 5 at 5.26. He's 1-5. So if the rest of the bats outside of Yandy continue to stay hot, it could be a good afternoon.
One of the things I just love about Kevin Cash is, and one of the reasons I think a lot of these guys start to find success, and right now, the way the Rays are playing, because they're playing so well and they have this success, it allows guys to work through their struggles. Cedric Mullins being one of them, who is starting to look better at the plate. We know what he can do defensively. We know what he can do when he gets on base, on the base paths. But he's because the Rays are playing well, he doesn't feel the need to push, which a lot of guys in baseball will do.
We kind of talked about that with Taylor Walls, too, where, like, he looks looser, and it's got to be easy when, you know you're needed and the rest of the guys are doing their job.
Right. And Cedric Mullins last year traded to the Mets in the middle of the season and felt like he needed a push. And in New York, you can do that. And didn't work for him, didn't work for them. It's not working yet for Cedric, but at least they have the time to work through it.
He had a base hit last night.
Griffin, right, and he looked good. He looked comfortable. Griffin Jacks, because of the Rays' success right now, and Kevin Cash just knowing how to push the right buttons and using his imagination, and Kyle Snyder as well, looking at the arsenal.
Especially with Jack Snyder needs a lot of credit, yeah.
Looking at the arsenal of pitches from Griffin Jacks and saying, all right, we're not able to utilize this array of pitches in just a short period if we're throwing them in for an inning. Let's extend them. Let's put him as a starter, not throw him into the high leverage situation and then try to have him execute when he's got this full arsenal of pitches. And I think yesterday it was obviously giving up the home run early can be a little scary, but really settled in. And I expect once he gets comfortable in being stretched out, that the 60 pitches can become 70 and 80 pitches, and the 5 innings can become 6 innings. And next thing you know, you got another guy in the starting rotation putting up quality starts because that's what he was on his way to doing yesterday.
Yeah, and to your point, there is no recovery from that home run when you're a closer, right? Maybe it's a 2-run lead and you give up a 1-run home run or whatever it is, but like a lot of times you give up that run when you get into the game, you give up that home run and it's game changing, and it's a situation where you've had even if you get out of it, you've had a bad performance based on things because you're just supposed to be out there to shut the door. You can come in the first, give up a home run, and then go on to have a very good performance. How many times do you hear a closer comes into the game and gives up a home run, but he had a very good performance? Almost never.
Right.
You never say that about a closer who gives up a home run. We just said it about Griffin Jacks because he was able to have a very good performance after that first inning home run.
It's a good point. And then the bullpen did their job. Once again, Kelly has been spectacular, and Seymour, and everyone doing their part. And right now it's leading to a lot of success and just little things. You saw it in the first inning. We said the Rays win a lot of games that they score first, and they win a lot of one-run ball games. That was a one-run ball game for the majority of that game, or a very close ball game for the majority of that game. But look at the first inning. Griffin Jacks gives up the home run. You're behind the 8 ball, 1-0. Bottom of the inning looked dead. It was 2 outs. Nothing was going on.
Yep.
Jonathan Aranda battles, my team MVP right now, battles, gets on base with a walk. Then Yandy Diaz, hopefully he's okay after getting hit on the hand and hurting his fingers. But in that at bat, and he had a wonderful game before that injury, he works a count, gets it to 3-2, 2 outs, gets a hit, drives it in, drives in a run. That's an inning that looks dead, and the Rays end up producing.
Yeah, and you hear about 2-out runs all the time. Like, 2-out runs are deadly in this league. Like, you feel like you're out of an inning, you feel like you're in good shape, and the next thing you know, you're looking at a run. And when, with Baltimore, who's been playing as poorly as they have, against a team that's as hot as the Rays, to get that first run in the first inning like they did, it's got to feel pretty good. But when you give it right back in the bottom of the first inning, it's like, well, all right, there goes away all that good energy you had from getting up in the first.
Loaded show. Rays win again. Rays CEO Ken Babby's coming on the show 7:30. Babs is coming on. There's a big vote in Hillsborough County today on the Memorandum of Understanding, and Hillsborough County Commissioner Ken Hagan will join us right after that at 7:45 as we try to kind of figure out what's going to happen today and what's going to happen. I have a feeling what's going to happen today. It's really what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks is what I want to know.
Yeah, because today is about getting the memorandum pushed today and tomorrow. Tomorrow at the City Council, but today with the Hillsborough County Commission is about getting it pushed through for some paperwork to be done to where we can really vote on the final thing. And I think there are people that would vote yes right now to see it through that might later not like some of what's in the paperwork and could eventually vote no. But that's
I agree with that. And Mayor Castor actually said, I can't imagine that any elected official would vote no on this memorandum of understanding. That talking about just the non-binding portion of it today.
Which I love, because for me, that's as strong of a statement as Mayor Castor has made. And I've been fairly critical of Mayor Castor, who I like a lot. You and I have met many times. I like Jane a lot, but I've always felt like her comments on the Rays ballpark, for me, always came across as kind of wishy-washy, and I felt like she didn't really care that much. To me, that was about as definitive a statement as she's made,